Hey everybody, got a new frame. This is going to be the Turkey 225 from Banggood. This is going to be the titanium version. It comes with the side plates. Those are really wide and thick. Hopefully they got some really long screws to go through to hold the camera on. Comes with all the TPU prints, antennas, and the TPU arm guards, and all of the carbon fiber. They are really light. Make sure they're not aluminum. It's not aluminum. If it was aluminum, it would scratch real easy. So let's put this together here. This frame, it looks to be almost identical to the Armatane Rooster. There's another milling burr right there. I'll just have to take a file and take that down. This frame did not come with a file like the real ACC stuff does. It would have been nice to see a file in this kit. Really thick plate. Wow, that bottom plate is at least 4 mil. We'll measure everything out. That's really nice to see. So all the arms are going to be exactly the same, I believe. This is 5-inch version. So the milling on the arms are really good. I mean, you can see where they started and stopped the milling. There's a little, tiny little, you can just take that off in like 2 seconds. You're going to take the edge off the arm anyway. You can just touch that up. I've definitely seen a lot worse milling on frames. So we'll start with the front arm, and this is the back of the frame where it swoops down. This is the front of the frame where it's wide. So you're gonna need this piece. That's the first thing I see that I don't like. Those are supposed to hold themselves in there and not just drop out like that. Okay, so let's find the right size screws. These are the right ones. I just held it up like this to see how far it would go through. It goes all the way through the arm into this top plate. Find 2 of those. And this doesn't have a relief on one side or the other. It should. You're gonna need really long screws for your camera. And that's where these go in. That's where it'd be nice if they pushed in nice and tight like they're supposed to. Then you wouldn't have to worry about them falling out like that. Don't tighten them up all the way because you still got to adjust a little bit. It does come with good screws. Then the back ones are going to be the same way. The back one, you're going to put these little vertical, odd looking little standoffs on there. I would probably put them this way, and then you can use them for anti-vibration. They fit okay. The holes don't line up totally perfect, but I mean, you can push it on and they'll line up. So I use TPU printed anti-vibration pads on my normal builds anyways, so that's kind of a cool thing that it comes with some pads already. It'll protect the arm, and then it'll have some anti-vibration qualities to it. So this goes with the narrower holes in the front and the wider holes in the back. I do have a chameleon frame, but I do not have a rooster frame. So I can't 100% compare them, like all the measurements and all the hole sizes and everything. But from what I've seen online, they look just about identical to each other, this frame and the rooster. You can see where the back part of those standoffs fit inside. This actually tucks inside the standoff, and the top plate goes in this crack. Just like that. That is a really cool 3D print right there. I think that's pretty neat. And then see how this right here sits down further, and this is little stubby. This little stubby piece goes to the top, so that it'll fit inside of this TPU. There's just a little tiny little lip in there to fit like that. So I'll put that like that. And then you can also know that this is the way it goes together, because you can see this fits flush with the bottom side of the frame right here. And then this will sit flush with the top thickness of the carbon fiber right here. It's another way you can tell which way these are intended to go. Really thick bottom plate. I like that. If you don't want to use the TPU print, you can see that this won't go inside of there. This is another option for mounting your antennas, would be out the back, because this won't go together with that on there. So you can either use the TPU mount with your antenna mount hole, or you can use this one. I'm going to obviously use the TPU one just to show how all that goes together. So then you'll take this little piece and put that on there. It does not come with a PDB like the real ACC stuff does. It does come with your nylon standoffs, so if you want to use the nylon standoffs, and then you'll just screw those on like normal, so you can put your flight controller on them. I never use the nylons. I will use the anti-vibration ones when I'm building. And top plate just slips on there. Use your little shorties. I'll have to take that back apart. I forgot to slide this on first. I'll have to take one of the side plates off. So basically the bottom piece just goes over, slides on like that. I'll try to put a camera in. And then this is going to be a Swift 2. And I know the hardware is not long enough to go through these side plates. We'll check and see. There is 2 different sets. One little stubby, but the little bit longer ones definitely aren't long enough to go all the way through this whole plate. You can see it's not even close to going all the way through the plate. So you'll have to order a set of these. I'll measure with a caliper in a minute here. So I'll just set it in there without screwing it down just to kind of see how it's going to fit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Yeah, sure I will. It's just going to be a little bit of a squeeze. There you go. Sure, and I forgot to put that standoff in the center. The standoff's going to go between the two, so slide your standoff in there. Okay. This camera actually hits the TPU. You'll have to switch over and use this camera housing that has those holes in it, so you can mount it in there like this. Just like that. So I just have to take all the guts and everything out of this and just switch it over, and the lens and everything switch it over to this one, or get an older run cam or another one that has this mounting. This mounting will not work for in here, so you got to get the mounting like that to use in this frame. Finish screwing it back together, and then a couple more shorties. Started. Then you can tighten it all back down. And then you're going to grab these 4 and you slip this plate through there like that. And you can see right down through there. Just drop the screws right through the holes. It's kind of a little bit weird. So you gotta angle your driver a little bit. Just make sure you don't cross thread them, because you're gonna be pulling kind of funny. Maybe even just kind of mush your mount over like this a little bit so you don't cross thread your screws. So you definitely don't want to do that. You're definitely going to have to use a pair of needle nose or something to hold these to tighten them, because the holes are too big in that carbon fiber where they can't grab. So just use a pair of needle nose and just grab them. And tighten them all down. So you gotta put a screw through each side of this yet. That'll give you a little bit of bump protection right there. Then push the tubes in. Just like that. I'm really impressed on the print quality of this TPU. I'll grab a GoPro and see how it fits in there. Wow, actually fits in there really nice. I like that. Nice and snug. And then this pad right here is going to go on right here. Oops, this way, of course. You're running this TPU, you will have to trim the back edge of this pad a little bit to fit on because the TPU is going to be in the way. And then this is going to be for if you don't run the TPU, you could put this over the top of that plate, and then your little landing bumpers go on your arms underneath the bottom. I'm not going to put any of that on for now. Okay, so get some measurements here. So the arms are 4mm. It's 4mm bottom plate. Looks like 2mm top plate. Yep, between the top plate and the bottom plate, 22mm. Those are 2mm. That one and that one. 2mm on the back, and then it's 28 between the camera plates. And then the screws you're going to need to order for your camera, 2mm by 8mm long to be able to mount your camera in there. Okay, so brief breakdown real quick of likes and dislikes about this frame. I like the TPU. The mounts are really well printed. There's no separation in layers. There's no big boogers. There's a little bit of rough edge here, but that's really good compared to most prints that I've seen and that I've bought actually even. I do like that it's titanium, carbon fiber. The weave goes down the arm the proper way. A little bit of twist, not a whole lot. It kind of comes from there not being any extra support across the span in here. Real nice rigid frame. I do not like that the push nuts don't suck themselves into this carbon fiber. The holes were too big, they don't seat in there well. They should fit in tight. You should be able to push them in or screw them down and suck them in, and then when you take it back apart they should not come out. I'd like to see them pressed in when they come from factory. And this should be milled out on the side plate so you can run your standard length screws and not have to buy extra screws. But besides those two things, this frame is really nice. The price point makes it absolutely a no-brainer. It's worth picking this frame up if you want one. The print is a little bit too wide. When I tightened this down, it did squish out the front a little bit. You could probably get that out with a little bit of heat. If you heated that and just pushed on it, it would probably come out of there. It'd relax down a little bit. But yeah, I would recommend it. If you're looking at it, you don't have the money to spend on a rooster, go ahead and pick this one up. I mean, you got your anti-vibration mounts already on there. Just screw your motors down on there. I think that's pretty cool. Arm protector slash anti-vibration mounts, that's a pretty good idea. That antenna mount is pretty nice too. That'll save you from breaking some antennas. It'll give it some flex when you crash. These tubes will probably break if it's cold at all. This plastic likes to break really easily. These antenna tubes are not. It might be a little bit better that you get some flex from the TPU. That's about all I have for that. Like, subscribe. See you in the next video.